This man hits the sandbag 50,000 times a day. His training brought massive changes to his life. After 2 years, he went from being the weakest F level to an S level warrior. Even the mighty flying dragon couldn't match him. He could toss the flying dragon into the air effortlessly. However, he had never left the mountain. His masters were quite strange. They had never praised his strength, which led him to believe that he was still weak. But one day, when his masters learned that the E-level adventurer upgrade exam was about to begin, Riku finally got a chance to leave the mountain. But then he remembered, he was still an F-level adventurer, and this exam was a great opportunity to test the results of his training. However, when Riku arrived at the guild, the receptionist immediately recognized him. 2 years ago, they were colleagues. She was shocked when Riku had resigned, deciding to become an adventurer at the age of 30. In this world, people usually became adventurers in their teens, but Riku made this decision after leaving his job at the counter, where he had worked for more than a decade. 2 years had passed since then. As she was about to ask him what had happened during this time, a drunk man suddenly approached. He told the receptionist to stop working and come play with him. Riku saw this and stepped in to help the receptionist. He asked the man to calm down, then placed his hand on the man's stomach. For Riku, who had worked at the guild before, dealing with drunk troublemakers was a normal occurrence, but to his surprise, as soon as he spoke, the drunk man passed out. Many people gathered around to watch, thinking that the man fainted from drinking too much, so Riku didn't think much of it. The receptionist reassured Riku not to worry. Riku found her reasoning quite sound. When she saw Riku like this, she smiled. Just then, she realized she hadn't given Riku his exam admission ticket. She wished him good luck in the exam, and Riku left. However, no one knew that as soon as Riku left the guild, a palm print appeared on the guild's floor. The drunk man was wearing steel armor, and no one knew who had the ability to leave a palm print on such armor. It was then that someone recognized the drunk man. He was a former A-level adventurer, wanted for crimes against humanity. Others didn't know who was responsible, but the receptionist, who had seen the whole incident, remembered that Riku had placed his hand on the man's stomach. As she was still wondering, Riku had already arrived at the exam site. The first exam was to test magical power. Each person had to place their hand on a crystal ball, and the intensity of the light would reveal their magic level. Everyone there was at least C level or D level, and there weren't even any E levels. When it was Riku's turn, the crystal ball let out a sound as though it had just released gas. When everyone found out Riku's result was F-, they began to laugh at him. It was the first time they had seen such a low level. Just as they were preparing to test the next person, the crystal ball suddenly exploded. The second exam tested attack power. Each person had to strike a sandbag with all their might, and based on how much the sandbag swayed, the examiner could determine their attacking power. This slime sandbag had excellent shock absorption, so the examiner instructed everyone to strike with full force. Riku had studied the slime sandbags, and he knew that the golden ones had the highest durability, while the green ones were the weakest. But Riku had never struck a green sandbag. Over the past 2 years, he had only struck golden ones, as that was what his masters required. At that time, Riku's goal was to break the golden sandbags, which meant his physical training was successful. His master had him hit 50,000 times every day. Now, thinking back on it, Riku still felt scared. At this moment, the examiner announced the start of the exam. The first participant used enhanced magic to strike, and the examiner thought he did well. The second participant was even more impressive, as he had a special effect when he appeared. He was the second son of a duke, and at the age of 11, he already had C-level magical power. He was a prodigy. Then the exam began. He immediately used his ultimate move, a third-tier magic called